What does it feel like to take ADHD medication? For some people, it feels like washing your brain, putting it back in, and finally being able to think clearly. And for other people, it feels like nothing happened, or even worse, they get negative symptoms. Everything is possible depending on your medication and your body, how you will react to it. I just wanted to share my story because for me, taking ADHD medication has felt like being reborn. I was born last December 20th, and that's the day that I started taking Elvanse or Vyvanse in the US, 30 milligrams. I took it in the morning with water, as you should. The listing on the package says you probably shouldn't eat before or during that. You can eat right after if you want to, but just give it a moment to sit alone inside your guts. It took 30 minutes for me to feel something, and I definitely felt it. Usually my mind feels like a bright white room with a lot of things happening. So anything that happens from the outside is there. There is a song playing, there are some random thoughts jumping around, and I just struggle to take one thing and put it in the focus and ignore the other thing. The medication felt like somebody walked into that room and turned the light off. Right after that, a spotlight came on, and I could put it on anything that I wanted to. So if I wanted to focus on the song, I could focus on the song, but I could also turn it off. I could focus on what I was doing. I could have a coherent thought and just work with that thought until I've decided to place the spotlight somewhere else. It literally physically felt like that because you're going about your day and suddenly the thoughts that are always there, chatter, are gone. So it feels like at least the stereo is off, but we also visualize a lot when we're thinking, so the lights went off as well. I wanted to test right away, how does it work with my focus? I was writing, I was indistractable. It was not like I was grumpy or not paying attention to anything else. I just thought, I will do this, and after that I will do something else. And I could really prioritize and decide on things. The second thing that I noticed was my posture. Interestingly enough, I just thought I don't like to sit around, but I sat in that chair without putting my legs on the table, without sitting cross-legged. I just sat like a normal person, and it felt very relaxing and also very good for my back. Shortly after, I felt the first side effects, a dry mouth, a bit of tingling, and my heart racing. And later in the day, I also got a headache. All of these are gone at this point, but the first few days, especially the first day, they were definitely there. So it's good to know what you can expect so you don't get scared. And of course, loss of appetite and no desire to drink water. I was prepared for all these things, so I didn't get scared by the tingling or by the higher heart rate. I had some water prepared, I had some food prepared, and I made sure that I ate and drank on time. Some people that I know, they binge out in the evening when their medication wears out. So I was trying really hard not to do that. After I ate my lunch, I continued to work, which is really crazy because sometimes after you get distracted and you've had a good run, it's impossible to get back into it the same way that you were. But I got back into it, I was able to switch tasks, prioritize, and I finished that day of work. I started feeling the medication running out a little bit by 7, 8 in the evening. And I only felt that because my head started to hurt. It wasn't that I felt less focused. That first day, the focus lasted forever. It doesn't last like that anymore. It wasn't that, but I did felt a bit of a headache. I started to get a little hungry, but nothing like wanting to eat a lot because I had made sure to have my lunch, to have my breakfast, to have my snacks. So I just made dinner, I ate, and then about 10, 11, I wanted to go to bed. Now, falling asleep is definitely hard for people with ADHD, and I have to say that was my biggest struggle starting the medication because you may not feel the focus about 14 hours in, depending on the medication, a couple of hours in, but your body still has the chemicals running through it. So it is still feeling more awake than normal. That day, I think it took me several hours to fall asleep. I really needed to learn different strategies to deal with that, but I also needed my body to just get used to the medication because that has since made it so much better. What did I feel like? What did I think? I felt like I had been cheated out of a lot of success in life, I thought, oh wow, if this is how I'm going to function forever, well, surely it's gonna be only uphill from now. It's gonna be a huge shoot. I know we missed some time, I cried a lot, but I thought, if this is how it's gonna be, I've got this. And spoiler alert, it's never like the first day. So it's good to know that the expectations could be a little bit too high and just enjoy this day, enjoy the first few days, because they are nice, they are a really special moment. But be okay with it being a little bit less later on. Of course, none of that happens unless you have a proper ADHD diagnosis. So if you want to learn how I got my diagnosis, I highly recommend you watching this video because I talk all about that process here, and I think that will be really helpful to you.